Oh, hello there, my lovely, and welcome to this week's episode of Lotus Life The Podcast. This is a show where each week we get to hang out and chat about all things human design. I'm here to teach you how you can thrive in your most aligned life by empowering yourself to understand your unique soul's purpose. Human design is a beautiful synthesis bringing together ancient wisdom and modern science, and it's a way of understanding that contract between you and your soul and the universe for who you came here to be, what you came here to do, and what karma you came to correct this lifetime around. This podcast, Lotus Life, is a celebration of embodying being the lotus flower that blooms and thrives, growing from even the murkiest of conditions in life. Get ready to lotus your life. Are you a light worker? Someone ready to evolve and awaken the power you have within you? Are you a light leader? Well, my guest this week is Nicole Middleton, a woman who is on a mission to be a warrior of the light. Nicole is here helping others to show up and shine and align with being the best version of themselves through sharing her own journey with the world and knowing that she can make a difference one smile at a time. Nicole is here to be the catalyst to help others on their self-awareness journey, empowering people to challenge their beliefs, their views, and even their own reality. Nicole is the creator and incredible manifesting generator energy behind We Are Wildfire, a movement of empowered beings. She's not only an incredible coach, she's a podcast host and just a force in this world. I'm incredibly excited to bring you this conversation. So let's dive right in. So lovely, Nicole. First things first, if you are happy to share with everyone listening, I love to ask all my guests that come on the podcast how they started their day this morning. If you can run us through it, give us all the juicy details.
Ooh, I love this question. Oh my gosh. So this morning I wake up and I have a morning activation ritual, which I absolutely love doing. And I call it a ritual, first of all, because it's not a routine. It changes slightly every time to basically for me to do what feels good in the moment. But it's generally as a broad basis, it's to do something that feels good in the morning that is aligned with what just feels right. So all of the time, I take time to be by myself. I've got a little ritual space that I've got in my study, and it's got crystals and candles and all my beautiful things. And I sit there in meditation, cross-legged, the beautiful meditation format. I have my major headphones on and my sleeping eye mask so that everything's pitch black and I'm just totally in the zone. And depending on how I'm feeling, I either do a guided meditation or I do a meditation with binaural beats, which are basically frequencies in your ear to get you into a certain frequency through your brain. So it's two different frequencies in each ear, and that kind of aligns a different frequency that's going on. So you can tap into either alpha states, theta, beta, and I forgot the last one. But I'm often doing theta states, which is the state that you can get really in tune, your meditative state. So it's an awesome way to get deep into meditation. And I've got a couple of beautiful ones that I absolutely love that are my go-tos. And I just sit and meditate and do a little bit of breath work to get my mind and body clear. And after I've done that, and guys, it generally depends on how I'm feeling. If I do that for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or even longer, I just keep going. And then when I come out of that, I do a bit of journaling. And again, this is depending on how I'm feeling. It's either guided journaling, where I've prepared a question either before or right then and there. I ask myself a question and I answer it, or it's just I literally word vomit onto the page and I just go blah, and I just let whatever wants to come out. And it's really such a beautiful experience for me, because literally, this is me communicating with my higher self as to what exactly I need in that moment. And it's really quite interesting because I find sometimes my higher self can be quite to the point and direct. And it's such a beautiful experience for me because it's often things that I've been thinking about constantly, and it'll be like, come on, Nicole, we've been telling you this. What is happening? Why are you not taking the action? So I'm just like, often I'm busy laughing to myself and I'm thinking, okay, I'll do it. So I absolutely love doing that and just getting into that space of complete alignment and complete energetic, the beautiful state of being that I want to start the day in, so that nothing else can touch me during the day. Nothing else can penetrate my positive state of being. And I can just control my day from the beginning.
I love that. I think that's such a powerful gift to give yourself, right?
Yeah. Yes. Hell yes. 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 Yeah.
Absolutely. And because you're a mama, so it is really important, I think, especially so when you've got the needs of other people in your life, that you have taken that time to, as you say, just nourished yourself first and given yourself that permission to have that space to really tune inwards. And as you say, either kind of journal on something or just be able to spit it all out onto the page, get it all out there.
Yeah, and that is totally exactly how I feel, because the relationship we have with ourselves is the most important relationship that you have with anybody, because if your cup is not full, you cannot give to others. And this has been a huge priority for me, because otherwise I can't give my family what they need from me. I can't give my clients what they need from me. And a lot of people find this is such a difficult thing to do because they find it selfish, or they're stuck in a rut of being busy and trying to please everybody, or thinking that they should be doing all these other things, and they're not actually giving anyone the best of themselves. So they're falling short all the time. But if you give yourself this gift, if you give yourself your own space and time to recalibrate and realign, then you can take on anything, you can do anything. And honestly, people just love it. The family and friends around you, your children and your partners and anyone else around you absolutely love it, because you are giving them the best, because you've given yourself the best.
That is just so fucking powerful, because it is something we typically, it would be very unusual to be taught all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be very, very unusual for someone to be kind of empowered to live their life like that. And I think that is such an important message to share, to say that you cannot show up for the people you love if you haven't put that love into yourself first. I fucking love that. I love that. That's incredible.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So for everyone who is listening along today and who maybe hasn't already come across you and the beautiful work you do and the beautiful work you share, and they're meeting you for the very first time here listening on the podcast, can you just share with us all a little bit about yourself, who you are, your purpose, and just this glorious soul that you are?
Oh, I love this. Yes. If no one's heard of me before, I'm Nicole Middleton, and gosh, that has been a journey for me to figure out who the hell that person is. It's taken a long time, but over the last couple of years, it's really integrated a whole lot of different things. The first one being is that my superpower is energy. So wherever you find me, wherever you see me, you'll know that my energy speaks thousands and moves mountains. And I just am really passionate about being that catalyst for change for people, and being the catalyst for people to light up. So when they see me, my initial reaction is just, whether it's virtually or in live in person, it's just that I want to bring forth the best version of yourself by being the best version of myself. And my mission on this planet is to empower people to show up as their most authentic self unapologetically and live a life of freedom just by being themselves. So I've founded the group, the tribe, the brand, We Are Wildfire. And basically this is a tribe of people who live to light each other up. So I've brought together leaders, light workers, and luminaries to share a space to encourage people to show up as a most authentic, powerful, lit up, wild selves and help each other expand and elevate their energy and calibrate to each other's successes. So my work is basically an extension of that, to accelerate that work very quickly on a one-on-one basis and take people from where they are to where they want to be in an accelerated state of that.
Mm. Whew. Wow. That just gave me chills listening to that. Oh, what a powerful gift to share with the world. That is incredible, incredible, incredible. And you mentioned that it's taken you a little while to get to this version of yourself and be this version of yourself now.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I mean, for as far back as I can remember, I've been a seeker. Who am I? What am I about? What is this all about? What is the point of all of this? Trying to figure out who I am, why I'm on this planet. And to the point where when I was in primary school, they were separating us into classes, and we could either go into the religious education class, which is the general learning about all different religions, and then there was the other class that was learning about Catholicism and all that kind of stuff. And back then I had no clue what my religion was, so I actually went home to my parents and I was like, hey guys, what's up, like what religion am I? And they were like, well, what religion do you want to be? And I was like, what do you mean, what do I want to be? And they were like, well, it's your choice. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that was when I was about 10 years old, and that kind of sparked this journey of trying to figure out where I fit in when it comes to spirituality and religion. And I started doing a lot of research into where I did want to fit in. And for many, many, many years, it was through exploration of prayer. A long time ago, I tried and I sat and I was like, dear God or dear Father, like, and I used to do that and try and figure out which religions were for me. And a lot of the time it would come back to me going, no, I don't have a religion. I'm still trying to figure it out. And I took little pieces of all these different religions with me and tried to see where I fit in. And the main thing that I figured out is that I cannot fit into any box. And that is why spirituality as a whole fits with me so much better, because I believe that all religions have the same goal, which is the same as spirituality. It's all to go towards the light, to become a better person, to become the highest version of yourself, and to understand that we are all connected and we are all one. So I've understood now through that entire journey that I can't fit into any one box, but I can empower people and educate people to come into this space in understanding that we are all one and we've got this purpose in life. And our purpose in life is to figure out who we are and then share that with the world.
Oh, that is incredibly powerful. I love that approach to just kind of saying, you know, these categories or these, as you say, the choice we get to make in our life is the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And what a gift from your parents as well, to say you get to choose, you get to create your own reality.
Exactly. I mean, that I think has been an incredible opportunity to me for me to go on this exploration journey at such a young age and to figure out what makes me come alive and what's really important to me. And that journey has culminated in me understanding who I am and then helping others to do the same and live a life aligned with your highest vision of yourself, and just becoming more and more and more and more, and expanding and expanding and expanding. Because one of my concrete beliefs is that we are meant to expand. So we are part of the universe, and the universe is in a constant state of expansion. So when we are not in a constant state of expansion, when we are not growing and learning and becoming more, that is when we start to become stuck and frustrated and depressed and stressed. And we're in that space. That is when we are basically out of alignment with the entire universe. We're not in that state of expansion. So all it needs is for you to start expanding and learning and growing again, for you to be in alignment with the universe and keep growing and evolving and elevating your energy and helping others do the same.
Oh, I so just love the way you express all that, because it is so much about, I guess, how we have connected in that sense of empowering other people to go, let's help you to thrive in your highest alignment and your state of being that is going to allow your soul to flourish. It's not it's not trying to tell people this is the box you have to fit in. It's saying, like, the box is everywhere. Like we are in, outside it, on it, under it, and let's just allow you to
everywhere.
Really,
exactly.
Yeah, and just let people flourish in all the beautiful ways that they're here to show up every day. And so one of the incredible things that you've kind of gone through on your journey, and that we're wanting to really dive into a little bit with this interview, is to talk about your journey with understanding that about yourself and that human design, and your design as being a manifesting generator, because that is something that is, as you say, just so freeing to understand who you are at your core, isn't it?
Yeah. Man, being able to understand my design has helped me beyond. On my journey of trying to discover who I am and what I'm about, I obviously did discover all the religions, and I did all the personality profiling and all the astrology and all the numerology and all these things. Who the hell am I and what am I about? And when I found the human design concept and understood that it was like a combination of all these different charts and energetics, and bringing that all together to create this basically map to your soul's destiny and why you're here on the planet and how to live your best life, I was like, this is amazing. So it's been an incredible thing to start to understand. And basically one of the best things that I found from human design is that almost peace that you get from going, oh, okay, it's okay to feel like this because it's part of my design, or it's okay that I'm like this because it's part of my design. It's who I am at my core. It's not a flaw. It's part of my design. And I absolutely love having that, because one of the things that I always thought was part of my flaw is that I have so many ideas and I have all these things that I want to start, and often I end up stopping half the things, and I'm like, nah, not doing that anymore. And for such a long time, me as well as other people that I allowed to judge me figured out with that, or decided that I was a flake in so many different ways. But understanding that this is a part of my innate journey to start something, figure out if it lights me up. And the only way I can do that is by starting it, doing it, going, is this for me or is this not for me? And then going yes or no, and going, because in my scale, it's a hell yes or a no. So I can only figure that out by actually starting something and going all at it. And then I have to give it up, and being okay with myself, not feeling guilty for giving up stuff, because I know I have to try it before I can decide if it's for me or not.
And that is, for anyone not familiar with a manifesting generator energy type, that is just what you've just described, is basically the core bit to understand about yourself, is that you're here to do so many things, and to also do them potentially all at the same time. Like, that's the Manny-Gen gift, is that you've got full permission, your permission slip from the universe to go, here, have constant inspiration and creativity and be able to do lots of things, but also give yourself the gift of going, well, actually, if I wake up tomorrow and decide I don't want to do that anymore, it's fine for you to put that down, because your kind of divine I guess purpose is to create things, but equally to know the point when you go, actually, this might not actually be my thing to continue doing, but someone else might come along and pick this up. I've started the energy of it. I've kind of, you know, added that creative input into this world, and it doesn't always have to be you that is the person who carries it on to completion. And that's such a gift to know that you can.
I love that. Yeah. It's incredible because, I mean, you're often grown up with people that say you should focus on one thing and become a master of one thing. Don't be a jack of all trades. Yes. And I feel like that's always been in the back of my mind. I've always had all these different interests, and I'm like, how can I become a master at one when I want to try everything? And the thought of that of being a jack of all trades, like that being such a flaw in people, like, oh, they didn't ever take the time to master one thing, they decided to be a jack of all trades. And now I'm like, hell yes, I'm a jack of all trades. That's amazing. I mean, look at all these pies that I've got my fingers in, and I'm interested in all these different things, and it's so much fun. Like, I'm following what lights me up and I'm having fun. And to me, that is what life is all about. Like, follow what feels good, follow what lights you up, and the more that you the more that you will, it lights you up. It's just this evolving wheel that's just so exciting, because it'll lead you to things and people and circumstances and opportunities that give you the opportunity to light up even more. So I've really found that is no longer a flaw, and I'm excited to be that person that just does all the things and has fun.
And I think that fun is such an important word to add into that context, because I think it's understanding that we get to choose our lives to be playful and high energy and high vibration and fun. And I know for myself, that was a huge part of my own deconditioning, was understanding that you can have a soul's purpose that is fun and enjoyable, and it doesn't have to be this hard grind slog that you've earned every dollar that you've spent your, like, you know, blood, sweat and tears earning, you know, that concept that it gets to be fun was like mind-blowing for me.
It gives me goosebumps every time. Like, it gets to be easy and it gets to be fun. As long as you're aligned, it gets to be easy and it gets to be fun. Like, it's as simple as that. Align yourself and anything is possible.
Yeah. Oh, and so obviously for you, this is something you integrate in your day-to-day life, and you've really, you know, spent a bit of time embodying this and kind of living in your journey of understanding your human design and how that, you know, I guess touches every part of your life, not just at home, but in your business and your purpose and all of those good things. And then you also, we were talking earlier about the fact that your authority, so kind of your, I guess, inner compass, your guidance system, is all to do with being an emotional authority. And I wondered whether you would mind sharing a little bit how that looks for you in your sort of life and business, because obviously it's having all the ideas and all the inspiration and doing lots of things as a Manny Jen, but then you've got that added layer of an emotional authority, which for people who aren't familiar with what that looks like, it's a constant wave in your life, right? Of the high and then going through to the low. And you've got to come about, I guess, making aligned decisions from that place of calm within your emotional wave.
Yeah.
I just love if you can talk a little bit to that, because it fascinates me endlessly. Like, people who have got emotional authority, I find it fascinating.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing. And this has honestly been one of the key things about my type that really has helped me in life and business. So as you will know, when you start getting to know me, is that I'm very, very excitable. Very excitable. And often I get put into situations, or I put myself into situations where I'm like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I can't control myself. And I'm like, So like often we're at, like I go to conferences and all these things, and what I've learned through many mistakes is that I should not make decisions in that state of mind. Even when I'm super high vibe, like you could probably sell me anything in that state and I'd be like, yes, this is so amazing. So yeah, and the reason is that I'm feeling my energy, but everybody else's energy there as well. And whoever's presenting the information, I'm feeling their energy, and they're passionate and I'm passionate and everybody around me is passionate, and I'm like, yes, this is the thing. And yeah, sometimes it's not the thing for me. Sometimes it's not aligned for me, and I had to realize the hard way that I need to really step away from it all and take some time to be in my centered place and ask myself from literally that place of calm and like that peaceful place between my emotions, if this is really aligned for me, because it really takes a lot for me to question that, and also not making the same thing, not making decisions from a really low place, because that can also affect me hugely. And I think for a long time I've already known that not to make a decision from that low place, although I have made those in the past. But more recently I've been putting myself in all the fun, exciting, amazing situations, and had to learn that I need to make decisions from a calm, centered, aligned place. And that's definitely helped. And it's definitely taken me the time to learn that, because oh my gosh, some of them were lessons. I won't call them mistakes. I'll call them lessons.
No mistakes, only lessons.
Yeah, it's helped me understand my human design a lot more. I've needed those experiences to be in like, okay, yeah, I get that.
And that's so interesting, isn't it? Because as you say, that being kind of caught up in that high vibe, peak state, it's empowering to know that, well, actually it's almost a false sense of confidence and enthusiasm, and to go, actually, if I allow myself to move through that and enjoy all of that emotion, because this is what I love about emotional authority people, is that you've literally, your soul is chosen to come here and experience the range of emotion that exists, but you can do it by simply sitting on your couch. You get to experience every emotion out there by being at home. You don't have to necessarily go out and put yourself through things. So that's kind of your gift, to be able to go, okay, I know what it feels like to be in that super high state of just so enthusiastic, high on life. As you say, you can sell me anything and I'll take it because it feels amazing. And just to give yourself that permission to go, okay, while I can experience all that and enjoy it and feel all the feels, I can also then come down to a place where it's calm and go, okay, how does this actually look? Let me try this on in my mind. Is this thing going to be right for me? And know you've got that in your pocket so that you don't have to commit on the spot.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this is a good segue to one of the questions that one of my friends asked me. Like, they said to me, how do you deal with coaching people that are older than you? And the first thing that I said to them is that, first of all, what I coach on is all universal. It's universal concepts and laws, and it's a universal understanding that has been taught for millennia, over the decades. I'm just doing it in my personal way. And second of all, like you say, and even though maybe I haven't been able to experience things in my time on earth, I know what it feels like. I know that I have been through all these different emotions, and that's what it is about becoming an intuitive life coach or a business coach or anything, that is that I understand what you need innately, because I can feel what you feel. I understand what you need. So it's such an interesting concept that when you can feel that, and when you can understand those range of emotions, you can bring people from the emotional state that they're in and guide them to this elevated state. But also, it's amazing, because life is meant to be lived in this ebb and flow of emotions. life would be so flippin' boring if you were at this high state all the time, because you have nothing to compare it to. So your life is not meant to be lived in this high vibe state all the time. And that's one of the things that I've needed to learn over time as well, is that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to sit in those emotions, feel them and let them pass, not to suppress them because you want to feel good all the time. So it's quite an interesting concept. And I absolutely love taking people on their journey through their emotions and helping them understand that it's okay to feel all the emotions, all of them.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, because that's like, what a gift to be able to share with other people, and just to go, here, take my hand, I can show you the path, because I've walked it so many times already in this lifetime. And I mean, let's not, we could talk for hours about the fact that it's like this lifetime, and that concept of age and time and experience is just multiplied by infinity, right, across all our other lifetimes and existences.
Exactly.
So it does, like, I'm really glad you raised that, about that kind of concept of age and people kind of I guess almost wrunging others against, like, oh well, are you sort of experienced enough or of a appropriate age to be doing this sort of work, when it's all just understanding that just because someone might be a certain age, it doesn't mean they haven't had the experience already to be able to bring something of value to the world and to help others.
And the interesting thing right now in this moment, more than half of my clients are over 50. So that's why one of my friends were asking me, is because I do coach people over 50, and it's quite a hard concept. Like, how can you do that? How can you do that? And the other thing is that I teach them to let their true authentic self out. And I mean, if I can do that myself, I can teach anybody to do that. I can coach anybody to do that, because that's what I'm all about, is empowering you to break the shackles, decondition yourself of everything that you've learned to be because of your fears and the fear of judgment and the fear of failure and all of those things. I decondition you to step away from that and more into the person that you already know that you are. You're just too scared to show up as. So, I mean, it's a pretty universal concept. Show up as yourself. And it's just some of the different techniques that we use to let go of those limiting beliefs and bring you into that peak state is, it's universal. So I know one of my best friends and coaches is 23 or 24. And she's doing the exact same work, also teaching all ages, coaching all ages through this process. And it's just an incredible thing, because it's just universal. It's universal magic. Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just going, here are our soul lessons, and taking someone, by the hand to help them on that journey, because that's the biggest gift that someone like yourself can give someone, is to say, here's how I have healed myself, and this is how I can empower you to walk along that path yourself. You're not trying to give them a quick 5-day fix. You're saying, here, let's do the work that is going to mean that you can stand on your own 2 feet and live your most high vibe, highest alignment, thriving life that you deserve, because that's ultimately what everyone here has got, their own magic that just sometimes needs a bit of like dusting off and a bit of polishing. As you say, the conditioning that they might have gone through for 50 years is now the moment they're going, okay, I'm ready to shed all of that, shed it all and get rid of it.
And that's the beauty about human design, is understanding what your design is bringing awareness to all that conditioning that you can now decondition. So it's understanding what is part of you and what you can release. And the only thing that I can talk about there is that awareness without action is actually useless. So we need to understand our design and then align and take action from a place of alignment. And that, I think, has been my biggest success with human design, because it's all very well looking up your chart and going, yeah, cool, that's interesting, and then not actually understanding it at a core level and taking action from that place of alignment. And the part of this that I'd love to talk about is my not self's theme, which is frustration. And when I read that, I was like, okay, which has been so powerful for me, because being frustrated is such a common theme in my life. And now when I'm frustrated, I'm like, okay, cool, what's out of alignment? What do I need to change? What is this telling me to do? And, which before I'd be like, I'm frustrated and I have no clue what to do. And now I just go, cool, what do I need to do to change, to get more into alignment? What am I not doing? What action do I need to take to get realigned? Because I know that being frustrated is literally just the universe going, you're out of alignment. You're out of alignment. Come back into alignment, please.
Oh, you should, like, if you could see me right now, my hands are in the air. I'm nodding my head. You're speaking my language. Yeah, it is, as you say, it's just that just magical thing that you can go, okay, actually there are some really simple clues and kind of flags from the universe that are going to be just my little flashing light, and that tells me something's out of alignment, and it just draws your attention to it. And it doesn't mean that you have to overhaul your life. It just means it just draws your attention just very gently to say, look, something's off. Just take a moment, take a beat, take a breather, and take stock and have a look at where you can course correct, and then feel all those amazing feels again when you do know you're in alignment and you're following your strategy and your authority, and that because you've now lived in that state for so long, you're really in touch with how that feels for you.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
I know.
Feels so good.
And one of the things that we wanted to get into talking a little bit about with you is just some like sort of specifics in your chart, because you've got some amazing stuff going on with your gorgeous G center, which human design, for anyone who's listening along, is the big diamond shape in the center of the chest on the human design chart. And so if you have this in your chart like Nicole does, that it's defined, it'll be yellow. It's this big yellow diamond. And for you, your particular chart, Nicole, you've got so much going on in this area for you. You've got lots of lovely channels and lines, and everything's kind of all, I guess, centered around this hub for you, which essentially just means that all of those things we've talked about up till now, about that sense of being able to be a voice for self-love in the world, to be able to empower other people, to get in touch with their higher self, all of that incredible work that you do in your purpose is all coming from here, because this is your center of, your higher self, your center for love, your center for identity. So it always makes me so excited when I see people who have already tapped right into what their purpose is and what their soul really came here.
Oh, Rose, that's actually really interesting, because I did not know that that's what that all means.
Yeah, so it's really beautiful that for you've already tapped right on into that, and this is again where I love the fact that it just makes so much fucking sense, that it's like, these are things that we can look at and we can go, okay, here's a copy of your human design chart, but for most of the people I talk to, they've already had such a pull and such a call to kind of say yes to at least a few things going on for them in their human design. It's all these things that we go, well, there's no wonder that this person over here is a fantastic cook and this other person is a fantastic writer, and, all these things that we're here for in our purpose. Yeah. So it's beautiful to see that you're already, just shining in that center for you.
That's so good.
Yeah. So one of the things I was going to sort of talk to you about is, I guess, how that felt for you, of that kind of, I guess, leaning into that calling, because for you've got two really awesome things going on, that you've got two parts where you're higher self, basically is connected straight to your throat. So you've got not only that voice for the love of the self and being able to speak from that center, that you are literally able to talk about loving life, but with a playful energy and the love of life and embodying that. But you've also got a voice for self-expression. So you're able to talk about why loving your higher self is so important. And, you're able to really dive into like being able to tell them why it's so wonderful. So I'd love to kind of know how like that felt for you in terms of, is that something that you kind of have always known you've had? Or is it something that you had to kind of lean into and go, okay, I've got this calling and I need to answer it?
Yeah, it's super, super interesting. So, I mean, with the love of self and embodying the love of life, like I've always known that my inner child is very, very close to the surface. So I've never been able to be like that mature person. Like, honestly, for years before I had kids, I was like so excited to go on all the rides and all these activities and do all these things, to the point where a couple of years ago we were in the States and I said to my husband, oh my gosh, I can't wait till we have kids so I've got an excuse to do all these things. And no one will judge me. And now I've evolved even more to do, if my kid's not even there, I'll do it anyway, because I don't mind if people judge me, because it doesn't penetrate my state of being, and I've accepted myself fully in that department. Whereas before, I would allow myself, because I had this image of like an adult who is elegant and sophisticated. And I say sophisticated like that because if you could see me, you'd see like me rolling my shoulder. Like I could just think of like this French model that's like super, super elegant and sophisticated. And I always thought that that's what I should be. Like as an adult, I should be elegant and sophisticated. And that's just not me at all. Like I'm literally run barefoot in the garden, childlike person that's just super excited about having fun with life. So I love helping people do that as well. And one of my clients, actually, I've helped her through getting just a little bit more confidence and removing that need or that expectation that people are judging her and doing the thing anyway. And one of the things that she did recently was it was before lockdown, of course, but everybody was having a party and she decided to get up and dance like no one was watching her. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. And I was like, yay! Woo, that's so exciting. I mean, how amazing is life when you can just do things because they feel good and you're having fun without a care in the world that someone's going to judge you because you might not dance as well as the other person that's dancing next to you or anything like that. So I absolutely love to help people through that. And no, I didn't know that this was part of my human design, but it feels so good to know that I'm on the right path. And when you speak about doing it all through my throat chakra or my throat gateway, one of the things that has helped me in my business is understanding that I need to speak to people either one-on-one, and just doing Facebook lives and Instagram TV lives and being live with people, like talking, actually helps me channel whatever needs to come through. Because like Marianne Williamson says, you are not the water, you are the faucet. So I've noticed that when I am speaking, I get to be that channel for whatever needs to come through. So whoever is listening, they can hear what comes through. And often it's quite funny because I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I knew that stuff. I didn't even know where that came from, which is really, really amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I started my own podcast, because first of all, I was like, hell yeah, that'll be fun. And second of all, because I get to have these incredible, amazing conversations with people like you do, and just be that channel that lets me speak about everything that lights me up, which is self-love and embodying your higher self and having a vision beyond the vision and creating your identity, because that's what creates your reality, and stepping into and embodying your next level self and just all of the things.
Oh, and it's so tingly, isn't it? Because you go, well, these are all things that you felt so called to do, and then you can just go, oh my gosh, now I just have my permission slip to
Yes.
fully embody this, because and that's what I feel often with human design. The biggest gift that it gives people is to go, actually, I can just let the weight fall off my shoulders of any maybe lingering sense of going, oh, well, is this the right thing? Or is there something else that I'm supposed to be doing that I just haven't quite listened to yet? Or something, you can really fully go, okay, I can actually I can let it all the rest of it just wash off,
Or the way you think you should be doing it. Like in the beginning of my journey, at first, I mean, I've come to realize that I don't like to really label myself, because I would be something different to any person that comes into my energetic realm. I will be whatever they need me to be in that moment. But before, when you're starting this entrepreneur journey up, it's like, you have to get your niche, and you have to give yourself a title, and you have to give yourself like a little blurb of who you are and what you're about, and you have to do all these things. You should have all these things. So in the beginning, I was like, okay, cool, I'm a soul coach, and like I was feeling all of that kind of stuff. And then I kind of moved away from that because of all the shoulds that I heard from the marketplace, and all the people that I was around at that time was like, I don't know if a soul coach is that, like, if it's good to be a soul coach, like that wording isn't good and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And I let myself listen to all of that rubbish, basically, because I was like, okay, well, maybe people won't really take a soul coach seriously, or they won't listen to what I have to say because it's too like hippy dippy woo woo. So for a while I called myself an empowerment coach, or whatever label you want to put on me. And now I'm just, guys, I'm just a guide. I'm a human guide with spiritual humbo jumbo woo woo stuff going on in the inside, and I'm here to help you literally create a vision for your life that you want, and be that catalyst for change, and help you tear away everything that is not serving you, and step into and embody that next level self. That's all it is, and you can label me how you want.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's so true, isn't it? That especially when you then kind of zoom out and go, well, okay, you are a manifesting generator type, which means that putting trying to fit you into a box is going to automatically feel wrong, because you are here to be a lot of different things, and to reinvent yourself, and to, just lean into the fact that that's what your purpose is. And then also the fact that, all this beautiful definition you've got around your higher self center, and your, center for expression and self-love and helping other people, is you've got a real definition there that's all about being able to create newness. That is going to always be so important for you. So trying to, as you say, follow what other people are telling you should do is never going to align with what your higher purpose is, because you are here to create newness. You are here to constantly kind of be looking for something that is a new way, or a new approach, or a new maybe coaching offer, or all those things. And like you mentioned before, that the kind of generic information is find your niche, get really good at your niche,
Yes. And then if you want to, then you can expand out of that. I'm like, no, I'm trying to expand all the time. I need to expand all the time, and flip-flop between ideas. And it's really, really interesting. So I've literally adopted the new plan, which is flow, which is literally just do what feels right from moment to moment.
Yes.
And that's been hugely beneficial for me.
Oh, I love that so much. And what's so interesting, and I'd love to just kind of get your take on it, is also, I guess, in addition to that, knowing what you felt really called to do, and kind of giving yourself the, I guess, permission to lean into all those things that light you up and have called to you for some time, is also kind of understanding that soul motivation. And what's really interesting for you is that you've got kind of a couple of things going on in your chart that are all to do with being motivated to kind of go deep with other people, you know, like that sense of going deep into what it is that you're here to share and to do, and that connecting with other people and being able to go deep to help others, like we were talking about before, of taking them on their journey, but also knowing that you can trust that your soul is motivated by that fact that you do need to be seen in order to do this, you know, that your business needs to be out there. You need to be out there as a person who is motivated by the fact that you can kind of do more good by being super visible, right? And that's what is sometimes so empowering for people who are in this kind of, you know, as you say, like soul guidance, spiritual, whatever label people want to call it, that not allowing somebody else's opinion of, oh, it's vain, or it's not supposed to be that you put yourself out there, or, you know, those kind of undercurrents that can sometimes eat away at that thing that you've got going on.
It's been huge for me.
Yeah,
because it's often you find I went from one extreme of seeing people on Facebook and Instagram showing up as maybe their full expression of themselves, like completely vulnerable online, from maybe even just, it could be as early as a year ago, going, no, I wouldn't do that, because often I would actually be the person judging, going, I feel like they're looking for attention, and like they'd be crying on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I don't know about this. And that was one of my blocks, because it was me judging that full expression, whereas I'm now being that full expression. And I know for a fact that helps people, and knowing that helps people is my only motivation. So knowing that people want, especially in today's world, when people are craving that real connection, you can't show up online as half the expression of yourself, as all the positivity and all the fun and all the joy and all of those things, without actually showing them the behind the scenes of what is actually going on for you. And I mean, one of the things for me was literally, I started a 365-day live challenge, and this has been amazing for me. It's been super, super exciting and empowering for me to get onto such an hardcore challenge, and hardcore because it's a whole year, and I've never been able to do a challenge with subsequent days ever in my entire life. And believe me, I've tried. But literally on day 3 of this challenge, I had a stomach ache. And normally I'd be like, do I want to go live? And I'd be like, nah, okay, cool. And I'd give up on the challenge. I'd give myself that permission to give up, because I'd be like, nah, I'm not feeling that well. Day 4 of the challenge, I was literally going live and telling my tribe of people that, okay, I'm standing in a blood test line here to get blood tests because I might have an appendicitis. So that was fun. And what that did for me, and then day 5, I had the surgery to sort that out, and then I took people on that journey of my healing through that, and what it taught me and all these kind of things. But the main thing that this has done for me is it's my journey. It's my journey from the Nicole who committed to 10-day challenges and 7-day challenges, and probably showed up for 2 or 3 days and then ghosted. And the joy that I'm getting out of doing this major challenge and showing people the full expression of me has been helpful, not only for me, but to show people that these things happen, that there's normal people all around the world that are going through exactly what you're going through. And it's super, super powerful to connect on such a deep level, even when some people are behind the scenes, they never comment, they never like, they never do anything. But me knowing that they're watching anyway, like I never post. That's been a major shift for me, because before there was all this conditioning of comments and likes and showing up to get that for the validation. Whereas now I'm like, it doesn't matter who sees this, I'm doing it for myself. And I know that by doing it for myself, other people are gaining something from it as well. So often I've had people text me or message me after, like, a couple and said, oh, I've been watching your lives and it's been really, really helpful, and how can I work with you, or like mentioning, oh, I had such a good laugh about the live that you did yesterday, or anything like that. And I honestly believe it's because I'm coming from a place of my personal freedom of expression, of myself fully expressing from this place of complete certainty and alignment. And that is why this is gaining a lot more attraction than anything else I've ever done, because it's coming from a place of soul rather than likes and comments and all of those things, external validation.
That's just so powerful. And what I love about that as well is that you've entered into it from that place of calm, going, you know, this is my you know, alignment to make this decision, to do this. But you've also given yourself, you know, the freedom within that to show up as whatever variation of Nicole needs to show up that day, right?
Yeah.
You've lent fully into the fact that, okay, my gift is to just simply show up and to share, and whatever that looks like, whatever day that is, whatever might be going on, I'm just here to show up as myself, and that's my biggest gift I can give someone else.
Yeah, no pressure.
Wow. Oh, that's
so
just so beautiful. And I love that. And I love that you've, you know, kind of given yourself that challenge as well, to say this is a challenge coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of duty or obligation or what somebody else has kind of told me I should be doing. It's just purely for yourself.
Again, going full circle to that place of self-love. And if I can fill my own cup, I can overflow and fill everybody else's. So if I can sort my own life out and do things from that place of alignment and be that full expression, then everyone else will also benefit. So yeah, it's such a different shift that is so powerful.
Oh, I just love that. And I honestly, I feel like we could just talk for hours and hours and hours. And I just have absolutely love diving into this conversation with you. I feel like you just have got such a light to share with the world. And so I'm so pleased that we've found each other online and connected and been able to sit and record this for everyone listening. So I just want to take a moment to thank you so much, Nicole, for coming on, for sharing your beautiful wisdom, sharing your journey, and just being happy to be open about talking about how human design has been such a big game changer in your life. So for everyone who is listening in, can you share where they can find you, where they connect with you, all the details? Because I'd love to share that with everyone listening.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, first, thanks, Rose. This has been an amazing experience. Again, just because I get to talk to you on such a deeper level, and that is my soul's motivation. So it's amazing. And just to learn a little bit even more about myself, which is, you know, that just lights me up. So learning that I'm on the right track. So thank you for doing that reading and just giving me a little bit more insight to myself. And thank you for connecting with me, because now, like I said, besties for life.
Yeah.
But yes, everybody who's listening, you can find me on Instagram at NicoleMiddleton.co. On Facebook, I'm on my personal page a lot at the moment. You can catch me for my 365 days of lives. And that is I am Nicole Middleton on Facebook. And guys, if you want a tribe of people who live to light you up, an empowered tribe of people who are leaders, light workers, and luminaries, then find the tribe We Are Wildfire. It's a movement of people who live to light each other up. And yeah.
And I'm in there, so come and hang out, because it is amazing. And I just love all that you are here to share and embody in this life, Nicole. You are such a special person, and I just have absolutely loved getting to talk to you today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rose. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah. Oh my God, I honestly have to just pinch myself some days after getting to talk with amazing souls like Nicole and connecting with women who are here to change the world. Wow, I hope you loved this episode. I had so much fun recording it, and also I'm actually going to be a guest on Nicole's podcast called We Are Wildfire, talking all things human design, which you can keep an eye out for over on her show. And while we're talking about fun things to do with human design, have you joined the Facebook group yet? Kind of like a book club, but book clubs kind of feel like they're a bit early 2000s. Maybe. Anyway, just me. But it's a human design hub, if you want to call it that. So come and hang out if you're interested. The link to join is in the show notes with this episode, or you can jump onto Facebook and look it up in the search. It's called Lotus Life Human Design with Rose Tautari. As always, thank you so much for being here. Virtual hugs through the microphone, and I will catch you on the next episode.